Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is Justina. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today I'm doing this Thank You Next Ariana Grande inspired look. So let's get into it. First, I'm using my Fenty Beauty primer. This is really good for just smoothing out the skin. It gives you a nice base for your foundation. I already applied my moisturizer, so I'm working that where I'm more porous, more texture, and then just putting the excess on my forehead. So I'm taking my Maybelline brow pencil. I'm brushing my hairs up. So this is going to be the first time I'm doing my brows on camera. I'm going to be a little bit more exaggerated, more straight with it, since Ariana's brows are more straight. So it's going to look a little crazy right now, but just bear with me. I'm just filling it in and I'm going straight out. My brows are naturally kind of straight, but they do curve slightly at the ends. So I'm just playing around with that. And then I go and line it on top. So this is similar to my regular brow routine, but the difference is that on the tail end, instead of going down, I'm just going straight out. That also gives your brows and face a more lifted look when you do your brows that way. I like to do short strokes. It makes your brows, makes it look a little bit more natural instead of doing long, harsh strokes. It'll make your brows look less blocky. So I'm just gonna just clean up the brow with concealer. So this is how I shape them a little bit more. If it comes out too thick or if it comes out a little jagged, the concealer helps it a lot. I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape concealer at the moment. I'm just using a flat brush, so I'm just going to blend that out on top, and I'm using my ring finger to blend out the bottom. Now I'm using the same concealer as my base for my eyeshadow. I'm going to use a flat slanted brush. It's like a kabuki, very small kabuki brush, so I'm just pressing that into the lid and then blending it out. I usually use my ring finger for this part, but you see I have my claws on, so it's a little hard. And I do blend under my eye, but that's just so that there's no harsh lines when I'm blending my eyeshadow. I'm using my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Finish powder, and I'm just going to set that concealer. I know people nowadays don't really set their concealer, but I still do. That's my favorite technique for my eyeshadow. I can't do the wet concealer vibe. Okay, so I'm going to take Golden Ochre for my lid. Yeah, it's Golden Ochre. And then I'm going in with that warm, more of like a soft brown shade in my crease from the Dose of Colors Friendcation palette, the Desi and Katie collab. I'm using a big fluffy brush and I'm just going to blend that out using windshield wiper motions, and I'm bringing it into the inner corner and then right back out. I'm not going to connect it back down into my eye. I'm just going to keep it going outwards because it'll give you that lifted cat eye look. So now I'm taking Venetian Red and Red Ochre. I'm going to swipe that right where I put the transition shade. And then I'm going to clean up that area with the Tempera. That's the really light pink shadow in the Modern Renaissance palette, just to highlight the brow bone. And then I'm going to take a little bit more of that red with my big fluffy brush and just diffuse it into the crease, because looking at the picture, she did have a little bit more of a slight red tint to her crease color. And now I'm using flyliner from Fenty Beauty. This has become one of my favorite eyeliners. It's perfect for a wing line. It is so flexible to point, and it doesn't have like that felt tip, you know, when it starts to come apart. It doesn't do that at all. I didn't think I would like it so much, but I absolutely love it. So I followed my lower lash line to create the wing, and then I brought it back in. So it's a little bit lower than what I usually do, but it still goes out really high. So it's a good guideline if you want to learn how to do a wing liner. Okay, so now I'm taking a tapered Morphe brush and I'm just going in with my transition shade and just deepening up the crease a little bit more because I want to give more shape to the eye. And now I'm just tightlining my lash line so there's no gaps when I put on my lashes. And she also had a black liner in her waterline as well, so I'm just taking care of that right now. I'm taking my current favorite mascara. This is the Nars Climax mascara. I did have some gaps with my liner, so I just usually take my mascara just to fill it in. So I'm just wiggling that in and doing a nice coat of mascara. It's just to get it ready for my lashes so it blends really nicely. But this mascara by itself is absolutely amazing. It's very lengthening and thickening, and I'm very picky with mascaras, and I love this one. I definitely recommend it. So now I'm taking my Marc Jacobs Shameless foundation. I really fell in love with this foundation over the summer. It just kept my skin looking like skin without it being too oily. It blended really well. And I'm just put some on the back of my hand. I was completely done with it, and then I just put dots all over my face, and I'm blending out with a flat foundation brush. I'm lying, it's like a powder brush, but I use it for my foundation. It just helps to blend it out a little bit faster and more evenly. And I've kind of been loving this technique. I used to do it in the past. If you used to follow me from a long time ago, you can see it in my old videos, but I realized why I used to do this technique. And now I'm using my beauty blender, and what I'm doing now is just pressing the product into my skin so it doesn't look like I have a bunch of foundation on. It just helps to blend everything out. Now I'm taking my fave sharp tape. I always say that, Shape Tape Concealer from Tarte. Thank you so much. So I put it down the bridge of my nose, under my eyes to highlight, Cupid's bow, chin, and forehead area. And now I'm taking a darker foundation just to contour a little bit, add some bronze in my life. So I put it on my cheekbones, and I also put it on my forehead area and my chin area, my jawline as well. So, you know, I'm working it into my jawline, I'm blending everything out, and then I take my beauty blender, you know, to blend everything, as one does when they put cream products on. And I don't usually do cream products, but now this video I felt like, hey, let me use some cream products, bronze up my skin a little bit more. Let's have a little fun with this. I blended everything out but my forehead looking at this video. I don't know how I forgot, but you can clearly see, clear as day, that I did not blend my forehead bronzer. So please excuse that. I apologize. That's embarrassing. But I couldn't not post this video just because I have a bronzer helmet on my forehead. What is wrong with me? Anyways, I'm blending out that concealer with my beauty blender. I did press it along the liner just to give it more of a sharp cat eye kind of feel and give you that more lifted look. And I put my concealer only on the tip and then on the bridge just to give my nose a little bit more of like a button nose kind of vibe. And now I am setting my under eyes using my Laura Mercier setting powder. You guys know this is my holy grail powder. I absolutely love it. So I'm just pressing that in with a damp beauty blender, the same beauty blender I use to conceal and blend out my concealer. Just focusing it on those areas, and then I dusted all around my face with the translucent powder with a big fluffy brush and just took off that excess powder on my lips and my chin area, because the main focus is where I get most oily and where I want it to be a little bit more highlighted, which is under my eyes and nose area. I'm taking my Park Avenue Princess bronzer, and I'm going to use that all around the perimeter of my face, jawline, cheekbones, down my neck, just so everything is cohesive, and my forehead. And I am looking at my forehead like, why does it look like that? But I just blamed it on the lighting. Yeah, I played myself hard with that cream contour. And now I'm just contouring with my Hoola bronzer, focusing that on the back of my cheekbone just so it creates that shadow, and then my forehead. I always like to do right below my bottom lip and then the Cupid's bow, just to give it that more pouty look. And I'm also contouring my nose on the sides. I do contour my nose a little bit more than usual in this video. It's kind of a newer technique I've been trying out, and you guys know I don't really do much with the nose contour because I don't care to. But so for my lower lash line, I'm taking whatever I put in the crease area, and I'm just focusing that on the lash line, so the soft brown with a little bit of the red. And now I'm just dusting off all of that excess setting powder on my face. I'm going to take my Lily lashes in Miami. I'm just measuring them right now. I literally just got it in the mail. So I'm going to cut the ends off. I usually cut off just a little bit, and then I put the glue on and set that aside. While that's drying, I'm just going to mist my face so everything melts into the skin. I'm using a rose water at the moment, but you can use either Fix Plus or whatever setting spray you like. Fanning that, and then before the skin gets completely dry, I still like to apply my highlight while it's still damp, so that it looks a little bit more amplified, more dramatic, and it just blends in really nicely with your skin. The highlight I'm using today is an oldie but a goodie. I just rediscovered my Gilded Honey from Laura Geller, so I'm using that all over the face and focusing the Amrezy and Anastasia highlight just right at the top of my cheekbones, and I'm going to use it as a nose highlight. Ariana recently has been doing really highlighted looks, so I kind of channeled that here. I'm going to go back on that nose highlight, but for right now I'm going to pop on my lashes before the glue completely dries and I miss out. I was very surprised that my lashes went on so easily. I literally just popped them on and went about my business. I thought I was going to struggle a little bit. Usually with new lashes you have to mold them to your eyes, but these were okay. I put a little bit of Nars mascara on my actual lashes just so they blended a little bit more, because I know a little bit of powder got dusted on there. So I'm just pressing in that highlight with my beauty blender, and now I'm taking that shader brush I used for my lower lash line. I dipped it into the Hoola bronzer, and now I'm just shaping it a little bit more. So I bring the bronzer into the brow bone area, into the crease, so that it's all connected, and then down the bridge of the nose. And then I also bring it right around the tip of my nose, so it gives me more of that button nose appearance. It's a super cute look. I actually really like it. And now I'm just coating mascara on my lower lashes. Again, I'm covering with my mirror. I don't understand why it's so hard for me. Okay, so I'm just going to take that black liner from Makeup Forever, and we're going to line the lower lash line. I'm going to take this really bright pink from Tarte. It's called Fantastic. I don't know if they still carry it. They might. I haven't used it in a while. And I'm just going to go over it with my bronzer. Now I'm taking my Charlotte Tilbury, the Airbrush, the Airless Flawless finish. I'm probably saying it wrong, but I'm gonna have it in my description. I put that right under my eyes and then on the sides of my nose, so it kind of highlights but also contours the nose, because it takes away from the sides. It makes the nose look a little bit more narrow. And then I just dust it right all over the nose so that it calms down any bronzer and contour I put there. Also, I bring it right under my contour just to sharpen up those cheekbones a little bit. So I just sprayed a little bit of setting spray just to melt that powder into my skin. And now I'm taking Red Earth from Makeup Forever. This is their artist liner. I'm doing this because the Fenty lipstick that I'm going to be using is a really nice red, but I wanted the red to be a little bit deeper tone, so I put that first. Then the Crimson lip liner from Smashbox. I'm rounding out my Cupid's bow, which is really hard because my Cupid's bow is really pronounced, but I managed to do it. And now I'm putting on the Fenty Stunna lip paint in Uncensored. It's actually a beautiful red. It stays on really nicely. If you use a lip liner with it, it won't bleed, but without it, I do find that it bleeds. So I made a little I just cleaned it up with my beauty blender and a concealer brush, and then you're good to go. This is the completed look. I did not have a cheerleader uniform, but my Gryffindor sweater definitely worked out. As always, all the products and everything will be listed down in the description below. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or ideas for next videos, please let me know down in the comment section. Thank you once again so much for watching this video. I will see you guys all in my next one, and hopefully it won't be in a year. It will be soon. Thank you so much. Bye.